G'day guys, I got a new game for you today and it's called Oblivion Override, and we're going to ask the question, should you play Oblivion Override? Now this game is a metroidvania roguelike game, and I've been playing it on and off for a little bit now, about 2 weeks. Whenever I had a little bit of off time, I just plugged this game in and started playing for a bit. It is very much designed for those short burst gaming sessions, much like Halls of Torment, much like Vampire Survivors, much like any of these roguelike games out there, especially a game like Dead Cells, which is designed very similar to. Dead Cells is a metroidvania where you go throughout a dungeon, your weapon changes how your character attacks, and guess what, it's the exact same here in Oblivion Override. The main overarching difference is the base story. In Dead Cells, you're a ghost that inhabits a body that's trying to kill something. Whereas in Oblivion Override, you're a mech AI that inhabits a body trying to kill something. Yes, I know they're really breaking the mold here, but this game is made by a Chinese studio, Humble Mill, based in, give me a second here, Zhejiang. I am sorry that I messed that up, but it is how it is. Now, I was very surprised when I was playing this game because I expected it to be a Metroidvania story-based game, much like Hollow Knight. To my dismay, it is just another roguelike like Dead Cells. Now, I'm not saying I dislike roguelikes like Dead Cells, but I do have a problem with them. Because genuinely, these games are designed to make you fail when you first start playing the game. Whereas a Metroidvania, you're designed to win with that base character and just get stronger throughout the game, and it's fantastic. Whereas this game, it wants you to get stronger by using meta upgrades, which I always find annoying, especially because my first experience with this genre was Rogue Legacy, and that meta upgrade system in Rogue Legacy absolutely sucked. You had to do all these meta choices in your head, which was the most efficient use of your resources, should you be spending them here. The dungeons were designed to make you to lose by not giving you any health upgrades at all, so it made health a resource, and just all round sucked. Whereas in Oblivion Override and Dead Cells, the game isn't designed to make you lose just because your character isn't up to snuff. It's more about the skill of your gameplay and how you can play the game properly. Each of these weapons give you a different skill that you can use to attack enemies, and each of the bodies and mechs in this game give you a different set of abilities that you can choose from. For example, the starting mech Crimson gives you 3 different attack types. You have a charged up attack, you have a charge attack, and you have a counter, and each of these upgrade them by themselves. There's then this unique evolution system, which I am not sure if there's a similar property in Dead Cells. In the evolution system in Oblivion Override, you get a choice between 3 options, and then you can choose an evolution, and these evolutions increase your character's attack power in a certain way. For example, there is one that gives you healing based on how much scrap you pick up. Scrap is basically gold, and you can use that gold at a shop to buy healing, a new weapon, new resources, stuff like that. When we're in our home base, there is the meta upgrade system, which is divided into 3 different shops. One is your weapons shop, one is your dungeon shop, and the last one is your self-upgrade shop, where you upgrade your weapon damage and those sort of things. It's not the most robust thing ever, but its simplicity makes it at least approachable and understandable from any level of game playing. Now, what's really incredible about this game is the enemy design. Each enemy has its own unique attack pattern, and they're very clearly visually different from each other, and their attacks are visually easy to see for the most part. There are a few enemies that can sort of get lost in the wash, but they were designed to be lost in the wash that way. The worst enemies in this game are the flying enemies, because some weapons just do not have an upwards arc upon their attack, making these flying enemies really annoying when you can only attack on the X-axis. You need that Y-axis to hit aerial units, and if you don't have it, you're kinda fucked. This becomes really annoying once you're in security level 3. Yes, this game has different difficulty levels once you beat the game, and then they get more and more difficult. There is a total of 3 difficulties in this early access version of the game. Yes, this game is an early access. I'm sorry I didn't say that till now. and the story and the gameplay could change dramatically from this video to when the game actually comes out, or when you're just watching this video in the future. What is super fantastic beyond the enemy design is the music design. It gives you audio cues on when you need to dodge, counter, and just what is happening around you. All of it is superbly done. The only thing that isn't superbly done, that's not how you say that word at all, but I'm moving on, is the lore in this game. Each of the characters are not voiced with audio at all. It's just a text scroll on the screen, which makes differentiating their personalities a little bit hard, especially when there is translation issues from Chinese to English and various other things. This makes a lot of the characters feel a little bit out of place, and we are unclear on their motivations because we cannot perceive tone through text alone. What is cool in this game is the meta backstory that is happening, which is that we are sometime in an Earth future where robots have destroyed all humans because they were upset that they were being treated as robots. We can see that coming in now, can't we, folks? Of course, after this happens, there is a central intelligence that is installed to command the robots, and they lose their free choice yet again, and it's up to us, Virus, to, well, gain this free choice back for all robots. And that's our meta goal in the game, is to defeat the big bad central AI with the help of a few friends in order to do so. This brings us to the true best part about this game, which is the boss fights. There is a total of about 8 boss fights in this game, and each of them are really great. There's 3 in the first area, 2 in the second area, and 2 in the final area. There is also a few sub-bosses sprinkled about here and there, each of which gives you a new evolution track. And now these evolution tracks, when you get several of the same one, give you a special upgraded bonus on top of their normal regular bonus. This means that when you're going throughout your run, you kind of want to stack singular evolutions so you get the maximum tiered of that meta trait. Now these boss fights in particular are really great because they're just designed fantastically. Each of them have a unique moveset and they're all visually clear. There's only 1 or 2 that have some attacks that just don't quite work, and they're usually in the second zone. There's this weird mecha skull thing that just sort of moves around randomly and just attacks you for no reason. Makes it really hard to get counterattacks on them. And the other level 2 area boss is this swordsman who has this weird hitbox to it, which makes it hard to understand whether or not you're dodging or not. My least favorite attack of his is he throws these spinning swords at you, you dodge the spinning swords, and then you have to time a perfect dodge when he dives in to stab you. You can tell the 2 times to do this perfect dodge is, one is by looking at his eye going twinkle, and the other one is a little bit of a sound pip saying, "You gotta dodge now." Both of which happen way too fast and makes it incredibly hard to get that perfect dodge or that perfect counter. Speaking of counters in the game, the counter sucks in this game. Its window is way too small and it is designed for you to press it instantly when you're getting hit rather than having it be like a little bit of a delay, then it counters. I prefer having a delay counter because it means that when I know an attack's coming, I can press it preemptively in order to get the counter to be perfect. When it has to be a perfect counter, I tend to mess up the timing quite a bit. It also doesn't have a really great window, which means if you press it too early, you're going to fuck up. If you press it too late, you're going to fuck up. So it's just not my favorite counter in gaming. And that's about it. So if you should play this game or not is purely up to you. If anything I said is really great, then play the game. It's fairly cheap, but personally I think, like with Hades, you may want to wait for a full release. I've only played 12 hours of this gameplay, so I haven't 100%ed every single achievement and all that, but I kind of want to wait for the full release myself personally before I dive back into the game more thoroughly, because there's going to be more than 3 zones, there's going to be more than 2 mech suits, and there's just going to be more content to enjoy. That's about it for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.